I know you just put up to the bar, but we close.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man. I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what. I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need
one drink. I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really yeah.
Hey man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to brought to you by is Go Green. This is a recycle company that do great things, and they don't just do recycling. Go Green does things of construction. We can get that trash away from your home. One of the things I want to tell you is I'm multiply working with multiple people doing multiple things. Why are you doing all this? Because there's great companies out there that need my abilities to be able to sell and get their products away from their homes. I've been doing it with Dispose. I'm doing it with Go Green. And I got another company coming up soon too.
Nice.
These companies is based on they want to get your trash away from you. So keep up with my show, keep up with what I'm doing, and get that trash away from you through all the different people that I got going for me over here at Go Green.
Nice.
Now I got to get back with the person been rocking with me for going on 7 years. This man coming on each and every time with a smile. I don't know why you do it, ladies, the way you do it. But you might want to pay attention to it. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
I'm doing good, Smooth Jay. Doing good, man.
I see you still smiling, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm moving in the right direction in 2024. You know?
I'm kind of proud of you, bro.
And listen, I don't need nobody on the outside or nothing on the outside to create a smile on my face, you know?
So it starts from the inside, bro.
I got joy on the inside, man. And, you know, that's what I want us all to have. You know, if the world had joy on the inside, we'd be seeing nothing but joy on the outside.
Don't you think that helps when somebody feels your joy instead of your envy?
Absolutely.
Or you're jealous?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It makes all the difference in the world, you know? Some people look at your joy and they wish they had your joy. And next thing you know, they kind of hating on you, making some negative comments.
It's always sucking the life out of you.
Yeah, man, I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore. My joy is real, it's pure. And, you know, what can I say, man? You live a day, you get all you can out of a day, and you move on to the next day. And I learned that from my father, man. He was always a smiling man. You know, always had a joke, you know, a little laughter in his day, in his pace. In fact, you never saw him without a smile on his face. That was just the way he was. My grandmother was the same way.
So what I'm hearing, the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Oh no! The apple falls underneath the tree.
Oh,
almost every time.
That was a nugget for the women.
Yes, sir.
I'll be stirring the pot.
Yes, sir.
This man don't need to be singing.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And listen, why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves?
Yes.
This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a fabulous dialogue.
Yes.
Tonight, we're just going to chop it up on a great subject.
Okay.
And as we do, we hope that you can grow and you can learn something and you can potentially become your greatest possibility just by listening to what we're talking about. And we got a good one tonight, Jay.
Oh, don't we?
We are talking about the lack of self-knowledge. The lack of self-knowledge tonight. So we want you to sit back, enjoy the show, find a way to participate from your seat, wherever you are, whatever time frame it may be. And ultimately, we want you to make some decisions about how you're going to improve yourself, how you're going to improve your life. What are you missing in the area of lack of knowledge, self-knowledge, that would allow you to open some more doors for yourself or potentially close some doors for yourself? You know, sometimes...
Sound like you're trying to gut punch somebody.
Well, sometimes there's things in your life that you need to get rid of.
I know.
And I think, you know, we're going to talk about a few of those tonight. So we really, really appreciate you being here with us tonight.
Yes, we do.
And, of course, we always start the show off with a prayer.
Yeah, knock them over the head.
And why don't we pray over the subject tonight, shall we?
Oh, I think we should, yes.
All right, let's give it over to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we just come to you tonight just thanking you for all that you are in our life.
Yes.
We thank you for our strength. We thank you for positivity. We thank you for the love that's in our life. We thank you for our family and our friends and all those who support us.
Yes.
But we're asking, Heavenly Father, that you would inspire us on high tonight, that you would give us a wisdom that would help us understand ourselves better, that you would give us inspiration so that we can be who you have called us to be. We're asking, Father, that you would show us a new intelligence and a new understanding of who we can be and how to get to that person that potentially we are not right now. We know that you are always by our side,
Yes.
but we know that you have given us dominion in this life. And we're asking, Lord, that you would show us how to access that dominion and really own it in this life,
Say
to
it.
do more for ourselves and to do more for our families and to really be a better version of us. We ask, Father, that you would be here in this show, do your good and perfect work, speak your will and intelligence. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. If y'all didn't feel that, I don't know what to tell you.
Man,
I felt that in so many different ways.
yeah, man. Yeah.
That opens up the question
You know,
for tonight.
if you think about it,
Mhm.
it's very rare that you ask questions so deep. Most of the time, we're just kind of going through life and we're kind of figuring out this problem and we're kind of figuring out this relationship and we're
Right,
just
right.
trying to get the best that we can get out of life.
Mhm.
But the best self-development is when you step away from
Say
life,
it.
when you take a
Step back.
a break
Mhm.
from what's going on and really take a good analysis, a good assessment of what's really happening here.
Mhm.
And what part do you play? What part do you not play? Right?
Mhm.
One of my favorite ideas in the world was the idea that Jesus
Uh,
went away to the mountain.
Right.
He went away from all the people so that he could learn something or he could hear something or he could ask a question to the Heavenly Father. And we need to take a look at our own lives and really do more of that, right? Sometimes being on the sideline
right.
gives you the ability to see what's really going on the field. But if you're on the field, you might be in the midst of chaos,
Preach it.
even though it could be organized
Preach it.
chaos. But in the midst of chaos, you almost can't see what's really happening. So we're going to get on the sideline tonight and just take a look at this thing we call self-knowledge and see what we come up with.
I think you said it already. I think we can go ahead and just end the show.
Yeah,
You
right,
understand what he just said. It was profound. You
Right.
need to pay attention. You
Right.
see that.
right.
That was a great intro, but that intro had everything.
Yeah, it had everything.
Everything.
And and we could start with this. How often do you separate yourself from the challenge or the issue or the turbulence that you're going through, and really ask some deep, heartfelt questions? Really ask some good, solid questions about, hey, what's going on here? How can I better this situation? Is this situation my fault?
Right.
Sometimes in the area of self-knowledge, we need to realize that sometimes we're not honest with ourselves.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't want to take credit when we know we're at fault.
Mm.
We only want to take credit when things are good. But I know when I look back at my relationship with my ex-wife,
Right.
I have no more blame for her.
Mm.
I went through some tough times, and I did some I potentially some way participated in that.
Okay.
And so, but it doesn't discount her from what she did.
Right.
But at the same time, I have to realize that I was a participant in that relationship.
Sounds like some
It didn't,
accountability.
it didn't work out.
Right.
And so now I need to take ownership for what I did or what I didn't do. Because if you don't take ownership,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably going to take the same BS to the next relationship.
Taking on that baggage.
If you don't take accountability for what you did and
Amen.
how you influenced the situation, you're going to make the same mistakes over and over and over. And, I don't know, maybe just because of, the person who my father was and, how he raised me, he taught me to take a look at myself. He was constantly giving me constructive criticism, constructive feedback.
Right.
He never criticized me, not one day in my life.
Mhm.
But he said, Junior, you think you could did that a little better? Junior, what do you think you could have done differently?
Mm.
If you had to do that situation differently, what would you do differently, right? And, you know, for me, it was that sideline effect that I'm talking about,
I'm listening.
right? It was, you know, and I'm not just talking about life, but I'm talking about when I was in sports or when I was in organizations. But, you know, we all have setbacks and we all have pitfalls and we all have challenging times. And I oftentimes wonder, you know, what percentage of those things really are our fault, right? And so I'm a big believer in self accountability. And there are some people who just won't take ownership of their stuff, no matter what. Even if they're looking in the mirror, they won't take ownership of it. You know,
They ain't seeing themselves nowhere.
So, what kind of ideas come to mind, Jay, when you think about self-knowledge or potentially a lack of self-knowledge?
Accountability. How are you being accountable? It's one of the biggest things, and I heard it from you when you got in that point, and I was in that same situation too, that I was blaming instead of acknowledging that I had a part in it. Without me noticing my part, I wasn't going to change me. I was just going to blame the other person. So now that I'm blaming the other person, I never changed my behavior. So when I go on, I'm not thinking about the baggage I'm bringing to the next one. I'm thinking about the fact that person did something to me. So I'm deflecting when I talk to the next person about what that person did, and I'm not talking about me. It's easy to deflect and hold ownership. So since I didn't change anything, when I get in that relationship, I tend to do the same thing. And then I wonder how this person started acting just like the last person because I have a toxic trait. I'm learning toxicity because I got it from another person. And then I didn't learn to get that off of me. I just learned to carry it on. So now I'm carrying extra stuff through relationships. And normally they don't end well because most people don't want to be nobody toxic. But then some people say they love toxicity. You know, they love the drama. They love the extra because they don't know no better. That's something I never want. So I start looking at my own behavior and I said, you know, I gotta take some ownership. I did wrong. I didn't like how I said some things, and I didn't like some of the actions I was doing. So not only did I say it to myself, I started saying it to the person I was with, and I started owning up to my mistakes. It was very shocking. Like, where did that come from? This, that, and the other. It's because I won't change, and I won't change for myself. So it started with self, and then it got to a point where I lost myself because I thought I was good because I look good. I feel good because I ain't taking ownership.
Right.
And so I'm owning my bull. It only takes a person to see through it that makes you want to feel more accountable because what do you mean? I had nothing to do with that. That's some bull, you know? And I'm quick to defend and listen.
Right.
So my hearing went down. My ego got big. And only going to get deflated when I start learning that I'm not the person that I'm trying to portray. So it's like I'm putting on a mask. I'm not that dude. I look like I'm that dude. I show like that dude, but I'm damaged. I'm damaged on the inside, and I'm trying to protect. So my outer exterior is not my inner. We're not matching. I'm unbalanced as a mug, and I'm running through relationships, and relationships is going ashore, running amok. And again, a lot of it's me. So I had to start holding myself more accountable because the number one person that needed to change was me because the relationships wasn't changing me. And then I'm pouring in and I'm not getting poured back into because they don't know me. I'm starting not to act like me. They don't know how to feed me because I'm feeding them. They have no way of seeing how to feed me because I'm not acting like me. So I'm hurting me. I'm slowly looking in the mirror, not understanding who I'm seeing. That's a lonely feeling. Don't wish that on no one. But I can tell you, is taking accountability is a blow to your face. Because now you got to start seeing you ain't that perfect person. Your ego start coming down. And you need to check it sometime anyway. It was getting too big. It had to be humble. Okay? And my ego is never bigger than my God. Okay? But I started believing in myself more than I needed to. So it had to get humbly checked. Luckily, it got checked by me. And I like to say circumstance probably made me check it. So I had to deflate a little bit and come to the agreement that, hey, I got to do better. So I start be trying to be more honest and start telling them about my feelings. Now, just understand this. When you start telling people about your feelings and being vulnerable, you're being open. When you're being open to a person that's toxic and they ain't really listening, your vulnerability be looked at as a weakness. You're only going to show weak to so many people or seem weak before you shut down. And now I'm not talking at all. Now I feel like I'm in a darker place than I was before.
Right.
I already wasn't happy with myself. Now I put myself in a darker place thinking I'm coming out of this like I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I didn't turn to the book. I didn't go and see that there's scriptures that can help you. I can't tell everybody where to go and what to do. This is one of the things that I didn't do and I should. It was brought to my attention that if you want to be a stronger dad or better man, there's scriptures that you can go that can help give you guidance. All right? There are also counselors. There's different programs that you can do, but find something, okay? Because if you don't, you tend to stay in a position that you want something different and you're not doing anything different.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I got in a relationship, and when I got into this, when I say recent, just years ago, and when I say years, not that far back, but somebody asked me, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And when they asked me that question, I start talking about job, things I do, and they cut me off rudely. That's not what I asked you. What do you mean? No, who are you? I ain't asked about your job. Who are you? Let me tell you something.
And how do you answer that question?
Yeah, let me tell you. I had to think.
You had to step back.
Yeah. Because I'm so quick to describe by the things I do.
What we do.
Instead
Our
of who
job,
I
our
am.
career path,
You know,
our
for
technical
guys,
skills. Yeah.
I'm the son of Fanny Harderberg, Jeremiah Griffin. You know, only child, or thought at one time when I was little, only boy, and then just my sister, just to find out I wasn't. I had other siblings. But to me, it goes all the way back to you. You're upcoming. You know, what do you believe in? I went to automatically what I created because I created an image of me and I started talking there and they wanted to know me. Now, this is what I love about this whole conversation is a lot of times you don't look into yourself to know yourself. You start believing things people tell you considering you ain't looking in. When I look in, this man is more humble. I might not be showing that on the out. You know, you got an outer and in. And I had to get to know the in. And that person made me realize I need to talk from an inner than an outer. I know about the jobs. I'm trying to show you. I got a job. I do this, but I'm bigger than a job. If the job I lost, which I lost some through time, never destroyed me, never put me under. You know why? I had the ability to snap back. I didn't put that much faith in them. They put enough in me. They put enough knowledge in me. So now I'm knowledgeable about what I did and what I can do compared to me feeling like I have to have them. But when I was going through this, they kept putting pressure on me to do more. And anybody in corporate America know what I'm talking about. If you got a position and you good at it, they can put more on you. They'll give you a raise. They'll give you a higher salary. But all of a sudden, you're doing two people's jobs.
Right.
And they did this on purpose because you ain't got time to build your own. Because I pay you more to keep you focused on the business. That's how you keep corporations making money. So I didn't think about nothing else. I just thought about what they did. They also put stress on me. And I didn't see it because the money coming in. So I didn't start to chase money. Right. I did this to make money to take care of my family.
Right.
I wasn't stressing over the amount of money because I was making that money work. And I was also investing in doing small things with it. I wasn't doing big things, but small things. And those small things add up, okay? Now I make more money, and I got away from a pattern of what I was doing because more money is coming in. Instead of continue to grow it in the way I was, I start spending, okay? Because I was comfortable. And I got away from the plan, okay? The second thing I did that was a disaster in my marriage is I kept the plan more to myself than keeping her engaged with it. Yeah. Because she can find ways to make these plans work too. It got to a point, I'm doing it all. And that's where the ego blew back up, okay? And that ego needed to be more humble because it wasn't just me, okay? And it got to a point where I had to get divorced, fall down, before I fell to my knees to go back to the Lord. He should have been guiding me through all this in the first place. Mm-hmm. I got away from what I normally do. because I got an ego boost. Okay. And it changed my trajectory. All right. And I had a pattern and a path, and it changed it. And that change was recognized even by my wife, even my kids. But to me, what are you saying? Look at what I'm doing. Okay. Became more selfish. All right. And Lord knows when you marry and you get in any kind of relationship, from a long-term relationship, marriage, or whatever, you might as well drop the selfishness, because that don't exist no more. It's about family. It is about bringing together.
You know, Jay, you are naming so many things that people really need to pay attention to when it comes to self-knowledge, right? When it comes to understanding yourself, and I think that's what this session is really coming down to, is that how do you measure your self-knowledge or lack of self-knowledge? What do we need to be looking at? What do we need to be paying attention to when it comes to knowledge and self-knowledge? And I have a list here that I just like to just kind of throw out there, and then we can have some discussion around it. But you should be asking yourself the question:
What's that?
Am I egotistical, or am I, do I display humility? That's important to know, right? Because if you are in a situation where there's a high level of risk, you need to know when to shut up, and you need to know when to speak up. And so if you don't know that about yourself, you're probably going to burn some bridges. You're probably going to make some mistakes. You're probably going to put your foot in your mouth, right? So the question is, am I egotistical, or do I practice humility?
Right.
Watch this. Am I decisive, or do I live my life in undecision? When it's time to make a decision, do I lounge on it? Do I wait a long time? Do I not decide, right? Am I a positive person? Do I have a positive attitude? Do I have a negative attitude? Where do I sit on the scale of positive, negative? Am I patient? Or am I impatient? Because if I'm impatient, I probably need to stay in a zone where impatience works. But if you go get in a relationship and you go running a business, you're going to need patience.
Yes.
You're not going to be, it's not going to just, happen for you right here and right there.
Don't take too much patience.
Yeah.
But you won't do it.
Well, they say patience is a virtue,
Right.
but you'd have to be a fool to wait a lifetime.
Oh, I can say that now.
Right?
You need that one.
Here's a question. Do I operate with my faith, or do I operate on worry and with no security in my heart? Am I selfish, or am I a team player? Am I a giving person, or am I always taking? Am I optimistic or pessimistic? Do I take care of myself, or do I just let things go to chance? How do I respond to pressure? I mean, do I give in easily to pressure? Does pressure typically rattle me,
right,
or does pressure make me stronger and make me focus more? Right? Do I set priorities in my life? Or do I just haphazardly do life and find out that I should have been working on something else and say, well, I just wasted 2 years because I really should have been working on this rather than this? Am I the kind of person to set priorities? Check this one out.
What's that?
Am I really an entrepreneur, or should I focus on keeping a job? Because if you're not a self-starter, you're not going to make it at entrepreneurship. You probably need to stay under somebody's umbrella where they have goals and objectives for you, and they hold a level of accountability so you can stay there. But if you don't have the entrepreneurial spirit and you get out there in the entrepreneurial world, you are setting yourself up for failure. This is about we're talking about self-knowledge. We're talking about understanding oneself. How do I deal with commitment? Can I look back over my life and say, the things that I have committed to, I went all the way through.
Right.
I went till it won, until it failed, until I just had to make a new decision. Or did I commit to something, and then when it didn't go my way, I just decided I changed my mind.
Right.
I don't want to stay into something that might be hard or might be not look like it's not working. Where's your level of commitment, right? Here's another one.
What's that?
Do you seek advice, or do you try to always make the decisions on your own? No matter what you are doing in life, somebody has already done it. And if you don't gain great wisdom, if you're not reading books, if you're not asking people questions, if you're not going back and seeking people who've already done it so that they can give you the shortest path to the destination, you need to figure out how you manage information. Do I seek advice, or do I just get out there and make mistakes? And then 10 years later, somebody say, I could have told you that because I did it 30 years ago. I could have took you from A to B without you ever having to go into the valley, right? Am I open-minded? Or when somebody bring up a new idea, am I the last one to implement it in the world, right? Or am I constantly seeking for new ideas? All right? How about this?
What's that?
Am I a problem solver?
Or a problem maker?
Or a problem maker, right? Or when I see that there's a problem, how do I respond to that? Because sometimes if I realize that in my past, there's a problem at hand, I know there's a problem at hand, but I didn't do anything about it. If that becomes a pattern, you can recognize it and change it. Okay, I'm in a situation, this situation don't feel good, it don't look good. Maybe I need to seek some advice. Maybe I need to get some patience. Maybe I need to be a little more decisive. Maybe I need to find a new way to deal with the stress until the outcome presents itself, right? How about this one?
What's that?
Am I a good money manager?
Ooh, financial.
I mean, do I take care of money? Am I interested in saving and investing? Do I have the right behaviors and qualities and am I learning about how to take care of my money and grow my money? Or am I the kind of person that every time I get some money in a short period of time it's gone?
No planning,
right?
Budgeting.
Do you hear how profound these questions are?
Yes, that you need to ask yourself.
You have to ask yourself these questions, and sometimes your answer is not good enough to satisfy the situation. Sometimes you need to go and ask the people who are closest to you. Do you think I'm a good money manager? Do you think I'm a good decision maker? Do you think I'm do you think I'm a relationship person? They'd be like, nah, you're not really a team player. You probably need to, you can date and you can go and have fun, but I see you in a relationship being selfish. And it's not that I'm trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm gonna tell you what I've seen in you over the years. I've seen over the years that you've had some good people in your life, but you weren't interested in that. And it's not maybe that's that just wasn't your calling. I know we all want love, but I'm gonna tell you, if you go and get a good person in your life, and you're acting in that way, all you're gonna do is blow it. You're gonna blow it for yourself. You're gonna blow it for them. You could blow it for your families. You could blow it for your children. If you don't have a stick-to-itness attitude, relationship is not the place to be. Because love doesn't look like we think it should look. Love. The true measure of love does not take place until after you have gone through some tough times, right? It takes a stick-to-itness kind of person to show love, especially after somebody does something wrong and you need some forgiveness. Are you the kind of person who will forgive somebody genuinely? Or do you say you forgive, but you keep holding it against them, right?
Yeah.
Here again are questions. And, the young lady who asked you that question many years ago, she said, who are you? When it's time to answer the question, who are you? These are some of the answers that you can give.
Right.
Well, you know what? I'm a very decisive person. I'm very, I'm filled with humility. I respect my elders and I listen to good advice. And I'm open-minded. I'm kind of optimistic. I love people. Maybe sometimes I love people to a fault.
Then the craziest thing? I don't know if I'd have said these things that it would have changed how that person already felt. Because I let her know more of me through the eyes of me. I changed it up. Where
you let her know through your eyes.
My eyes, my vulnerabilities, and my successes.
Which could be right on.
It could be right.
Or not right
now,
on.
Now I'm going to tell you why. Because I wasn't trying to impress. I got away from giving somebody what they want to hear compared to what I want to tell. I want to tell a true story of me in a way that you can understand me, so you know what you're really dealing with. Because at that point, I wanted to be more transparent. Because one of the things we talked about is people wear masks when they meet. So you never know what you meet. That stayed real in front of me when that was going on. And she asked me, because I didn't want to be a fake me. So let me give somebody more of me so they can understand me. And it didn't take that day. It took several days of questioning. Okay. I didn't ask a lot of questions. She did. In these questions, I'm answering, I'm firing off. Remember, it's only one time I stuttered or I hesitated. And that's who am I. After that, there was no hesitation with me.
No hesitation.
You can shoot and I'm gonna shoot back. But it's not an argument, it is a answering of a question. And it's not me taking long. You into me now. You're into asking a question, I'm into telling from my point of view. Everything went to my point of view.
That's the thing. It's always from your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But watch this. If you are telling someone else about who you are, all those things become to the other person is a filter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can hear you say that you're responsible and that you have a positive attitude and that you're decisive and that you're looking for a long-term commitment. You're a family man.
Mm-hmm.
But next week, when I send you a message that I'm not feeling well and you don't check up on me, you might not have cared. You're not really showing it. So what you do speaks so loudly that that what you said could be completely nullified, right?
Come on now.
And oftentimes when people are telling others about themselves,
Right.
they really are wanting to put their best foot forward. You're not going to tell somebody that you messed up. You're not going to tell somebody that you got to, sometimes you're challenged with a negative attitude. You're not going to tell somebody that you really aren't comfortable with change. You're not going to tell somebody that you don't really respond well to pressure. You're not going to tell anybody that. You're going to be like, I'm decisive and I'm cool and I'm laid back and I'm a good person. And then they're going to look at you through the filter that you gave them and say, you have a false perception of who you are. And kind of the challenge here is that they may never tell you how they really feel, but they're going to be able to see the truth. And so, when I talk about who I am, I like to talk about what I was born to do. Not my company and not my work, but,
right.
You're looking at a guy who will spend the rest of his life focused on helping people to become their greatest possibility.
Say it.
And no matter what happens under the sun, in fact, the Lord has almost positioned me at this stage in my life to be able to only do that. I've been studying and working on that so much that I'm almost losing all my other skills because I'm focused on, I know that people are hurting. I know people that are suffering inside of their spirit. And so what I am always concerned about is the mind and the heart of other people. I'm a very compassionate person. I have empathy for people going through challenge and going through pain. And, and part of what I'm saying insinuates that I'm probably not a selfish person.
Don't sound like
it insinuates that I'm probably not a shallow commitment person. It insinuates that I might need to be closed-minded on some things because I don't want to do anything else. I may have the skill. You may see that I have the skill to be a tax attorney or a doctor or to go and do this and to go and do that. But I'm not open-minded on that. This is what I was born to do. And this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my days. And I would hope that you could participate in that with me.
Say it.
Right? But I understand who I am.
Sound like
right? And, I have had situations where I convey, just like you did, Jay, I convey who I am to other people and they hear what they want to hear.
Yeah, that's that.
They hear, sometimes it's a situation where they hear only what they can hear.
Or want to hear.
Right? They hear what they want to hear, but, if you've never been through nothing, you can't really hear what's underneath what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is that, I done spent 20 years, 25 years in sales. I've had a family and my kids are grown and, what you haven't heard is that I got a short window to get something done.
Say it.
I ain't trying to go no other route than the route I know. I'm not trying to let anybody change my mind on anything unless it's proven over and over and over again. I recently had a gentleman who, I met. He's an older gentleman. He's probably in his mid 70s.
Okay.
And when I met him, the first few talks that we had, it was fabulous. We were on the same page. We was talking about the Word of God, and I noticed that he kept he kept dropping in these seeds of a different faith.
Okay.
And the more he dropped those seeds in, the more I realized how firm I was in my faith.
Right.
And so ultimately I realized that he wasn't necessarily about supporting who I was in my faith. He was about switching me over to a new faith.
Trying to get to grow up in you.
Yeah, exactly. And so he praised me for what I was saying and, the messages I was, giving to him. And all the while he had an agenda to change me, but he didn't realize that I was dug in. And that you're going to have to say something pretty profound to get me to change my faith. Number one, you're going to have to say something profound. Number two is I'm not willing to be vulnerable in any way, in any more part of my life with my faith. I'm willing to change some things. I'm willing to, stop doing some of the, nonsense that I might be doing, or maybe slow down on some of my vices or whatever the case may be. But you're not going to change my faith.
No.
Right?
Be rooted.
Right. You're not going to change my faith. Right. And it goes like that in relationships. Right. What you really want is you want somebody who, you want a relationship, but you want a relationship with somebody who's like-minded. Now, you can find a relationship, but they might want to go out all the time, right? And the reason they want to go out all the time because they've never had a chance to go out before. And so now they got a chance to go out. They want to go out all the time. And you say, hey, I love you, but you're not going to be dragging me out of the house all the time just because you want to go out. Now I have knowledge enough about myself to not let myself be pulled into an uncomfortable space in life. I have to say no. I have to reject going out all the time. Or you like to spend a lot of money on nonsense. Yeah. I'm not interested in spending money on nonsense. So I know enough about myself where I have to protect myself and protect my assets, especially from people like you who like to go out and eat $100 meals every day, right? So self-knowledge ultimately grounds you. It gives you boundaries. It gives you a layer of protection. It sometimes gives you a glimpse of your potential.
Yes.
Your potential in the future. I mean, how can you expect to achieve more in this world and you're closed-minded?
I'm going to tell you dead on.
Right.
You got to also realize what we just said, and I hear this all the time on social media. What do you bring to the table? And I always hear it's always bag money. It's a lot of different things. What you going to do? And some things go back to a sexual nature. I really think this is what need to be coming to the table. This is what coming to the table is about. These are the questions. These are the things we need to sit down and talk about. These are the things that I can see a future into a person or not a bag or some money or what else you want to eat or do. We need to sit down and have more conversations like this, a roundtable conversation that can lead somewhere. Where is your faith? Who leads you? A man wants a woman to follow him. Who do he follow? Do you follow the Lord or you following yourself?
Right.
Are you a selfish person that don't care for nothing but what you can do? Let her know what she following, because I promise you that's what you leading her to. You leading her to a heavenly life or a damnation. I mean, these are the things that we're not asking. You want to know how much money you can bring. Okay. He can have all the money in the world. You can't spit in that hell. Figure out where he going, because you're going to follow. Like I said, toxicity can rub off on anybody.
Yeah,
but the Lord can help everyone.
Yeah.
Just know what you're following, what you're doing, because it can help you in so many different ways. But I keep hearing everybody ask about relationship advice on things that's other than great things. And I think we had a great breakdown of a lot of self-accountability.
Yes.
That you got to have first. I think some of this stuff will be helpful before you go out there and find another.
Yeah.
Because now you're moving in a way that she can see what you're doing.
Right.
Not this fakeness of what you want. I know people can't go out, at least they got their jewelry on. Okay. It's all about the glitter, the shine. What's in you.
Yeah.
All right. This is an outer exterior. Okay. It can look better, it can look worse. But this inner is gonna come out sooner or later.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is you don't even know how to bring that to the table.
Yeah.
You too stuck on a shine, a bling, and with society.
Yeah.
Because I got away from the writing. I got back to worldly. Okay. And it gets you to a place where now you gotta show that you don't really know. That's how you stop knowing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Point here is ask yourself powerful questions
Mhm.
and discover who you are so
Yes,
that
yes,
you can
yes.
ultimately become your greatest possibility.
Always.
This has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes, yes, yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We're here every Thursday from
Mhm.
7 to 8, Facebook Live. We're on every other major platform.
Yes, yes, yes.
Please like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends and family, and continue to come back and get some of this
Yes.
good, rich wisdom.
Please.
Never forget, folks, that we do this because we love you,
Right.
we appreciate
You
you.
know it.
And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with